I think that all projects, all visionary projects reflect somebody's personality and somebody's life. This is like the heart of the footprint, guys. That's pretty bad. But I mean, you can tell there's tons of vacant, boarded up, burned out buildings. That didn't happen too long ago, actually. My name is Gary Wozniak. I'm 55 years old. In 1981, I became a stockbroker, and little did I know that I also had an addictive personality because most of my family were alcoholics. There was the go-go days of cocaine, and I became addicted, and I had access to a lot of money as a stockbroker, and I ended up in treatment in 1987 for cocaine addiction. Ended up in prison for 3.5 years after that. This is my opportunity to give back to the recovering community because recovery's given me my life. If you want to be involved in the community development and the planning, the construction, that sort of stuff, you can see me or email me. SHARE stands for Self-Help Addiction Rehabilitation. And we're a drug treatment program in the city. We've been in business since 1969. SHARE's average client is 45 years old, African American, felony background, reading and writing on maybe an 8th grade level, little or no job history, and has been using substances for most of their adult life.
Today I learned if I just stay clean, I cut my odds in half.
We had a meeting with the SHARE group, which is the management team at SHARE, and we were talking about ways to provide a more holistic approach for our clients for treatment, and also to provide jobs for our clients and make SHARE more self-sustaining. And I threw out the idea of doing large-scale urban agriculture. Yeah. This is an aerial photo of SHARE's neighborhood. Farming is therapeutic for clients. It helps with basic living skills, basic life skills. Also, the skill sets that are required for farming are not as advanced, so I don't need somebody with even a high school diploma in order to do the farming. RecoveryPark started as Recovery for SHARE's clients, but as the project has unfolded and as their group has expanded, recovery has meant recovery from other things other than just substance abuse, recovery from mental illness, recovery from loss of a job, recovery from foreclosure, recovery of vacant land in the city, recovery for neighborhoods, recovery for community. And so the name RecoveryPark really is appropriate for the type of project that we're working on.
So the next sheet you'll see is a map that should say community feedback.
We're a broad-based community organization. We're a group of 26 nonprofits. We have 5 for-profit businesses, the City of Detroit, the Detroit Public Schools, 4 universities. The community is actively engaged in the design process of this project. What we're looking at is a once-in-a-multi-generational opportunity to recreate, reinvent what Detroit is. So the types of things that we're looking at are taking Detroit completely out of the box that it's been in for the last 110, 120 years, which has been industrial. We have all this land. We have to do something with it.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm fine. How about
yourself? Okay, I'm Odell Thomas with the SHARE RecoveryPark project, and I'll be very brief if I may.
Yes.
I'd like to tell you some good news that we're bringing to the members of this community. Now, we're working with the RecoveryPark project. Now, this project is a proposed 10-year plan to bring redevelopment to this neighborhood.
Farming isn't the end-all, it's not the cure-all for the city. There's 48,000 acres of vacant land in the city. There's no way that we can farm all 48,000 acres. We're looking at how do we take a view of repurposing the land so that we incorporate agriculture as part of a job creation engine, and how does that all fit into a broader community? That's why our project is so large. We're looking at a 2,000 acre footprint in the city as opposed to just a couple of blocks or 20 or 30 acres of farming. We're looking at the farming being in 20 or 30 acres pods interspersed throughout the broader community, and how we repurpose the land that's in between those farming spaces, and how we move people around in that community so that they really don't leave the footprint, but instead of living over here where there's 5 square blocks and nobody's living around them, now they have neighbors.
The exercises in those 2 workshops, we actually pulled the maps out, put them on all the tables, and each table had sticky notes, and they could write on the sticky notes and stick them onto the map.
We're making no promises. We're telling them the risks right up front. We're telling them that this may not work.
Does this incorporate the data, the canvassing data, or no?
No, this does not yet incorporate that data.
Land repurposing on this scale has never been done in any industrialized or post-industrial city anywhere in the world. All we're asking for is a chance.
And I'm just hoping that no one else gives up at this point, that we continue to fight, because it's all for greater good, it's all for a greater Detroit and a greater metropolitan Detroit, because not just Detroit is going to benefit, but every suburbanite, every community in the state of Michigan will as well. That's all I wanted to say.
If everything goes according to plan, our goal is that this fall we'll be able to start planting cover crops, so we can start doing some soil remediation, we can start doing some weed remediation, and people can actually start to see things growing in the neighborhoods. When you get up here, you can really see it, how vacant it is. This is where Northeastern High School used to sit. Right where that is. When our farms are up and running, that for every 30 acres that we have growing things, we can employ a dozen people in $10 to $12 an hour jobs plus benefits. I mean, it's not auto company jobs of 20 years ago where people are making $28 an hour, but it's better than unemployment or not getting anything at all. That's the old Polish Century Club. That was one of the original clubs that was built for the Polish community. I see the Recovery Park as a model for how the city can start to tackle some of their right-sizing issues, and I think that we're about a year and a half ahead of the city in the way that they're going through their process, because we started before they did in looking at this. So I think that 5 years from now, the city's going to be replicating some of the things that we're doing as they start to look at how they repurpose land and how they take a look at neighborhoods, and instead of closing neighborhoods down and bulldozing them, realizing that the real assets in the neighborhood are the people that live there. And so how do we reclaim those neighborhoods so that the people that still live there want to stay there? Yeah, this is what Detroit's all about. I think it's great.